statement thing. I haven't come to really any conclusions yet, so whatever you guys need to hear from me, fire away.
Drew, just now that you've had a chance to see the film, maybe evaluate Chris's performance.
What I saw on game day, when I said his performance was okay, not great, I still stand by that. I think he can play a lot better. There's some things that we can clean up, I think, technique-wise, and the discipline of where his eyes are, and making the right reads. And I think mainly for him, it was a technique problem. Not a huge fix, but one that has to happen for him and for our football team.
You said after the game, you and Coach Ash would talk about the plan for Tylen going forward. Any kind of will he play, won't he play kind of thing?
We haven't had that conversation yet. I'm sure that'll be at some point later this afternoon. We got a staff meeting later, so I know that conversation is probably going to come up. If it does, or when it does, I should say, it'll be addressed at that point. But we haven't had any discussion about it so far.
And how about where is Zach Allen, Drew? Because obviously we know he didn't play much at TCU, but he came in, he was listed as a co-starter, and then you played 3 quarterbacks, and he wasn't one of them. So where is he in his progress?
I think he's right there. I think in the mix. I think we kind of know what Zach can and cannot do, and I don't think Zach's. I mentioned about Tylen, seeing what we're going to do and get his feet wet. I think that Zach's been in college football games before. He's been in big high school football games before, so kind of knew what we were going to get from Zach, and so I think he's right there. He's kind of I think along the same boat right now as Tylen in terms of he's got to develop in the passing game still a little bit, but a great kid and a great leader, and so I think the future for him is still very bright. There's a little bit more development that's got to happen there.
Drew, staying in the backfield, what besides, I guess, maybe it was just a matter of getting over the injury problems, but what has Robert Martin done to get back to number 1 in the depth chart running back?
Rob had a good week of practice. He battled through some injuries through fall camp and through the first week of the season. So coming back, he had a really nice week of practice. Practiced hard, ran the ball really well for us. Had good vision coming out of the backfield. So putting him into that spot, was not an easy choice because the other guys have been playing well. You look at Josh Hicks. Josh Hicks had a nice performance as well, I thought, during the game, and so all 3 of those guys have done a nice job, and I think we'll continue to rotate through and get carries. Rob just had a good week of practice, I thought.
Coach, getting back to Zach Allen, at TCU they moved him to receiver. If he was not in the mix later in the year, is that a possibility that you guys might consider as well?
As of right now, no. I don't know what the circumstance behind him moving to receiver. You look at some of the guys that they had at TCU. Kind of also find that a little bit surprising, but I think that's probably more attributed to the fact that Zach wants to play and is a competitor in everything that he does. So if I bet if you went back and asked him, it was because he was like, well, Trayvon Boykin's going to be here. What can I do to get on the field? He did everything. He was their holder even last year. So for him, I don't think it's a possibility so much that he's going to move to wideout anytime soon. I think for him, it's just a matter of development.
Juwan Harris, obviously, he's a baseball player. In the spring, you didn't see a whole lot of him. What has he done in your eyes to kind of move up into that, top line of wide receivers?
Yeah, Juwan has a gifted skill set. He's got speed on him. He's got a natural understanding for how the game of football works, operates, how spacing goes in the game, in the passing game. He's had a really good fall camp, better than I thought that he would, especially not having all of the spring ball reps that some of these other guys did. But he's got good speed on him and good hands, and I think a natural understanding. He's a smart kid for the most part and gets what we're trying to get done. So I think he's a very, very valuable asset for us and one that I think warrants more touches of the ball.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Just kind of your assessment. I'm sure you just started looking, but your assessment of New Mexico's defense. We talk a lot about their offense and what they do with the triple option. What do they do defensively?
Defensively, they play a couple different fronts. They want to be a little bit more exotic than most defenses. You know, you look at the head coach and the defensive coordinator come from different backgrounds, and you can see some of Cosgrove's Coach Cosgrove's done a nice job throughout his career, and he's been more of a base front guy. While as in Coach Davey has been a little bit different, likes to bring a little bit more pressure. So they've had very unique game plans for each opponent that they've had, but they're not afraid to play very close coverage, and they're not afraid to bring pressure. And that's something I think for us that we're going to have to be fully prepared for and have a great plan, because they're a very well coached, very disciplined defense.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you guys.